Well, we had a bit of a squall roll through. This is Guana Cay, morning of. Just finished raining like crazy out here. A lot of thunder, quite a bit of lightning. It's moving on. Sorry about any wind noise. It's all quit raining now, fortunately. Hopefully it's moving off. It was an interesting way to start the day. So it was bouncing us around pretty good earlier. We drug anchor last night. Talk more about that later. Engines on, anchor's getting ready to come up, and we're headed to Scotland Cay. Okay, here we are in Scotland Cay. Doing a little swimming right over there. If it was sunny out, it's supposed to be one of the prettiest places around here. Unfortunately, it's cloudy still. But this is where we've temporarily anchored just for an hour or two to kind of hang out for a bit, and then we'll probably go do a snorkel at another location, and then eventually we're going to be going to Hopetown later on tonight. That should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to what is unfortunately Chris and Robert's last day here, but well, last full day anyway. They'll be able to check into their flights here in about 3.5 hours. So kind of sad about that. Things are starting to wind down a bit, but we're gonna make the most out of this. This is a beautiful anchorage. There's some really cool stuff in the water here.
Out of breath here in a second.
Hello, Mr. Turtle.
Average size turtle?
Average size turtle.
Oh, he's big then. He's got a manhole size, hubcap size.
Conch shells and stuff.
Popped up and said, "Oh look, it's one of those shitty valleys." We're back on.
A few more conch shells. We could practically make a dinner tonight just on the conch shells that are here. We were joking because there's a Ryobi drill on board, and so we could easily crack those open. We were planning on fajitas, but that would be the backup plan. Anyway, getting ready to go for a swim. And Lisa lowered the dinghy, and Carissa tied up the dinghy. So they're getting hands on the lines and getting used to all this stuff. Yeah, like I said, getting ready to go swimming. Very low chance that the audio is actually coming through on this, but I'll try. Still here at Scotland Cay. Took the dinghy off the boat. Came out here to just kind of check this out. It's supposed to be a pretty place. But it's only really pretty when it is sunshiny, which it is very much not. The boat up here on the shore that looks like got thrown up there during Hurricane Dorian. Robert found a starfish. That's fun.
Just making our way from Scottish to not sure if it's Cay, but interesting things. So we're here, so we've just been raised up, so we just make good forward. And I'm not sure if it's just the waiting line for yours to go, or wood, or if some people just were not insured. But it's like about every third one is done. A shambles from the hurricane. Sure is pretty.
You're guessing, at least not Ledger, this is their vacation. Towing. It's close enough. Captain Calvin at the helm. Happy seat. Chris and Robert. Lisa up front.
For a puller?
Yeah, it's like the firebone.
Oh no. I hope it wasn't a Yeti 110.
Those aren't star.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe go to neutral.
When you buy like furniture and stuff. Light this thing up.
Calvin says that is a
Goon 450.
What'd you say it was after that? Oh, she's got bulkhead shoots out there. Yeah.
That's cool.
Looks like we are leaving the Bahama Bank out into the Atlantic.
Got you anchored out on the Atlantic side.
Right out there. So
We've dropped the hook on the Atlantic side here. And that right there is Twin Reefs. Getting ready to go snorkel that. Cue snorkeling themes. we lost the wind, so now we're motoring right over there in the background. There's a lighthouse just right where that blue line is, which of course the phone is trying to focus on. Just move out here. That's where we're trying to head right now. We're trying to head for that lighthouse. But we lost the wind and anyway, we make it about 7.5 knots on the motors, and we should be there in about an hour. And they're telling us this thing went up and burned down in about 20 or 30 minutes. It just went up like a Roman candle. We're just pulling into Hopetown here.
Yeah, that's an old.
Sorry for the wind noise.
I was going to say that's an old cruiser. Yeah.
I'm sure you figured it out by now, but this footage was all shot a while ago. Back when Riley and Elena from Sailing LaVagabonde were still on Lavaga 2, and while they were still pretty much living on Elbow Key. So it was cool getting to see their boat while they were still living on it. We saw them too, but we stayed well out of their hair, so we didn't end up being those people. But this would definitely not be the last time we would get to see Lavaga 2 or Riley and Elena, but more on that in a later episode.
Yes, so he is being in that little is. It is so far away. Okay. Yeah, try to get this by the
The inlet to Hopetown Harbor is a little thin and it can be a bit intimidating, and the anchorage itself can get really crowded, and there are a lot of mooring balls and they're pretty close together, but Captain Calvin taught us how to get through it, and before long we were tied up and ready to go. Alright, so we made it to Hopetown into the mooring field, and it's a hot day. The sun finally came out here and we're just looking at this rather crowded mooring field. There's a ton of mooring balls. I guess when she fills in later, we're gonna have some very close neighbors, closer than we've had since we've been out here anyway. But here in a minute, I'm gonna jump in the dinghy and go do some exploring. Probably head over to the lighthouse, check that out. Maybe figure out what that is right there. Obviously it's a marina, but there's other things too. So anyway, should be fun. All right, everybody ready to go check out this lighthouse?
Yep, I'm ready to go check out the Elbow Reef Lighthouse.
Steep, but not too steep. Little walk up off the dinghy dock, up to the lighthouse. Pretty cool little setup. This is the Elbow Reef Lighthouse. It was built in 1864, then it was rebuilt in 1934. Its candle power is 325,000, visibility 17 miles. The height above sea level is 120 feet, height above ground level is 89 feet. There's 101 steps to the lantern. All right, up the stairs. Everybody should be able to close their rings today. Hee. These are now almost a ladder. It's not stairs anymore. It's really cool, the different glass angles is that thing that Robert was talking about the other night, with different patterns for every lighthouse. That's how they do it.
Oh, you got out here?
Yeah. Oh. Go for it. Probably won't need to fly the drone here, guys.
I think you can see what's his name's thingy. He's off that island there.
Riley's?
Well, there's a little something.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I don't know if it's thingy or not.
Robert thinks that right there is probably Riley's dinghy, and he's probably out fishing or possibly free diving. So for perspective, right about there, wait, try to get that right. I was trying to focus on my finger, but when it comes off, that's right there. That's Marsh Harbor Marina. It was the place we were day one and will be tomorrow. And right out there, when it refocuses, is where we came from this morning. Can't see it, but it's around the corner from that. So this lighthouse works a lot like a clock. It's got these gears, and I mean a grandfather clock, or well, yeah, let's just use grandfather clock. Causes this all to spin. Someone has to come and wind it back up, essentially. That, or it could be that they put a different weight on it. Not really sure, but this lighthouse doesn't run on electricity. So we just dinghied from the dock over there. There really is not much on that island other than a restaurant and the lighthouse, but the dinghy dock's right over there. There's also a marina. So we dinghied across the deal. We're coming over here to kind of explore the town. There's a restaurant called Captain Jack's. I don't know if we're gonna go to that or not. We can walk across and check out the Atlantic side and walk around this town and just kind of check it out. Looks pretty awesome. Police station and the playground. Chris and Robert's retirement plan. The church is also the entrance to the Atlantic side of the beach. It's gonna get a little breezy right here.
It's on their website.
Hello, little guy. Where are you going in such a big hurry, huh?
A big curly tail.
Oh, hi, bud.
Just kind of walking around here in Hopetown, checking out all the sights. Very quaint little homes and stuff. There is a museum apparently around here. But a lot of this reminds me of Seaside, based mostly on the colors. Very skinny roads, and everybody here uses golf carts. It's pretty cool. In addition to a couple of small grocery stores, one of which was completely empty, a liquor store, and a restaurant, Hopetown is mostly a mix of cute little homes and little specialty boutiques. This is, yeah, you tried to talk me into it. Yeah, apparently that's the floating dock we're supposed to go to when we go to Captain Jack's, but the one we went to is pretty. And this one is kind of basic. And I think that's Captain Jack's. Not 100% on that, but we're about to find out. Here's the grocery store, guys. Do we need anything? This is the Hopetown little grocery store, and we appear to have a restocking problem at the moment, which isn't uncommon for this area. Came in here looking for coffee and for maybe some Trulies, but nope, not this time. And this is the liquor store in Hopetown, and yes, it's something of a tight space, but they've got a bunch of stuff for what little space they have. What's this place behind us? We'll be able to see them partying here tonight. Okay, so here's a pro tip. Things are pretty expensive, but you still want to try all the famous places. So consider getting an appetizer and a cocktail and then going back to your boat for dinner. And that's exactly what we did next.
So tonight we are having fajitas. We got beef and we got chicken. And Robert is gonna marinate it with some fajita mix and lime juice. Get that going. And back over here, we got Chef Chris.
It was very sad because Chris and Robert.
We are. Yeah, it's been so fun. And we got some peppers and we got some onions. And this little restaurant over here, it's got like pink and white. That was Captain Jack's. We had a drink and some conch fritters, which were really, really good. Better than the ones we had last night.
If I get it much bigger, it gets in the way. I can't get my should have happened.
Well, that's where we had the Sundowners earlier. And obviously, as you saw, we made some fajitas. Sadly, Carissa and Robert have been hacking up because they've got to leave tomorrow, so they've got all their stuff kind of packed in bags in the aft cabin, and the trip is starting to wind down. Lisa and I will be headed back over to Marsh Harbor tomorrow from here in Hopetown to drop them off, and then we're not sure what we're going to do yet. during the day, but then it'll be our last night where we get to spend lots of time. So the lighthouse just got lit.
I think they're lighting it right now.
Yeah, I believe they are. Because when I was over here a second ago, it wasn't lit up, and
Yeah,
we went down.
I was looking, I don't see anything, but I all of a sudden saw lights in the stairwells.
Got to get it lit, and then he's got to go crank up the thing that drives it going around in circles, like the grandfather clock mechanism in it that keeps it moving. And my phone doesn't seem to want to focus on the lighthouse for some reason. And you can tell it's not rotating yet. But the person operating the lighthouse has to go up every 2 hours and get it reset, wound back up. Kind of cool. There's not another one of them like it. Anywhere in, is it the Northern Hemisphere? I believe. Well, anyway, really rare. And they're getting it cranked up now. And there she goes. They just got her cranked up. She's starting to spin around and do her little unique pattern.